Yeah, I mean, Mastercraft's done a lot with their Dockstar technology
Yeah,
too.
Dockstar is great. We have it on one of our
Fantastic.
boats.
It's almost like you're not driving it anymore.
Yeah, it's. I think the one thing people need to understand with Dockstar is it's not a cure-all. So, like, you can overpower those two small rudders. If you just jam it in reverse and expect to steer left, it's not going to happen. But if you're patient with it, if you still use some of the best practices of using your momentum and using the proper rotation and keeping your boat in and out of gear and those type of things, it will back up to the left and it's awesome.
I'd say you nailed it on the head. Definitely low speed.
Yeah.
Idle speed.
Yep.
I would say if you had to say how similar it was to a stern drive, I'd say you're halfway there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not all the way there,
Yep.
but it's got a lot of the same maneuverability that, a stern drive would have, or maybe an outboard, depending on what you're on.
Exactly.
What direction do you see wake surf boats heading with some of the newer technology coming out in terms of, I think I sent you the link. It's Arc Surf
Yeah. So
out of California.
Arc's interesting. So we actually talked to Arc 2-3 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Believe it or not.
Interesting.
They're
I want to
putting
see one.
So there was one here last year. I was busy with customers. It was like a weekend day during the summer. Like, I don't have the time during those hours to be demoing boats, at least not with my involvement like inside the business
Yeah.
with where we are now. But we had a couple customers and one of our coaches' families that went out. They were impressed with the boat. The wave wasn't quite up to par with what Mastercraft offers. I think, just looking at the system that they have, like the tab style system that Mastercraft has, that Taiga has, that Centurion has, have developed substantially even just since like our 2018 boat. Like Taiga's gone through 3 iterations, for example, of TAPS 3 since we bought our first Taiga. It might be on 4 now. I don't know. I don't keep up with all of them, but I think Arc probably has some development work to do there. The biggest thing though with Arc and electric boats, and I think Nautique found this out with their electric boat that's no longer offered, right, is range is going to be critical and infrastructure is going to be critical. That's EVs across the board, whether that's electric dirt bikes, electric cars. There's not the infrastructure to support them right now. In the case of Arc, right, if we were to go do that or add one of those or a couple of those to our fleet, we could probably get away with 2 of them, but we would have to charge a much higher price because for half the day that boat's going to be on the charger. With our gasoline boat, we pull up to the gas dock and 20 minutes later, we're back on the water with a customer.
I think that type of boat's going to fit a really specific type of person.
Yeah.
And arguably, the marine industry is the best suited for electrification.
Absolutely.
But, piggybacking off of that, not everywhere.
Right.
So like Lake Winnipesaukee, where we're located, perfect spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got docks. Everyone's got power at their docks, and the lake's 72 square miles or 71 square miles.
Right.
You'd have to go to each end of the lake 3 times to run it out of battery.
Yeah.
And you take it back to the dock
Yeah.
and plug in.
For most users, most families, right, they're going out 2-3 hours, maybe in the morning, maybe they go out another 2-3 at night when the
Yeah.
lakes died down a bit.
Yeah.